Nintendo, the gaming giant. Who hasn't heard of it? For older people who aren't into tech, they usually associate the company to the Game Boy or even the family computer, or what we may know as the Famicom or the NES in the US. Those consoles really helped jumpstart their place in pop culture. They had a lot of ups and downs afterwards, but they are still a big force in the gaming world today. One thing though, did you know that Nintendo is already 130 years old this September?
Hi guys, I'm Zach and this is GG Fist Bump. So today I'll be making a bit of tribute to Nintendo who just celebrated its 130th founding anniversary last September 23. But before we move on, click on subscribe then hit on that notification bell to stay up to date with my latest videos.
1889, the year when the first issue of La Solidaridad, or the Solidarity, a political propaganda newspaper, came out in Barcelona, Spain. At the same year, the first Philippine vernacular newspaper was published, El Ilocano. In other parts of the world, the Eiffel Tower was inaugurated in Paris, France, while the still existing English newspaper, the Wall Street Journal, had its first print. In Japan, Fusajiro Yamauchi founded Nintendo Kopai, a playing card company. The business produced and marketed Hanafuda, which translates to flower cards. The cards, which were all handmade, soon began to gain in popularity, especially to gamblers. Fusajiro had to hire assistants to mass-produce cards to keep up with the demand. Since Fusajiro did not have a son to take over the family business, following common Japanese tradition, he adopted his son-in-law, Sekiryo Kaneda, who married his daughter Tei and took the Yamauchi surname the same day in order to inherit Nintendo. When Kaneda took over, he was in charge of Japan's largest card maker. With no heir, he also adopted his son-in-law, Shikanojo Inaba, father of Nintendo's third president, Hiroshi Yamauchi.
Now Inaba was really next in line in the family business, but he forfeited his inheritance when he abandoned his family just when Hiroshi Yamauchi was 5 years old.
When Hiroshi Yamauchi became Nintendo president, he explored several new ventures, which included setting up a taxi company, a love hotel chain, a TV network, a food company selling instant rice, and as well as moving into the Japanese toy industry. But when Nintendo entered into the video game industry, it eventually became a multi-billion global conglomerate. Yamauchi stepped down as Nintendo president in 2002, giving Satoru Iwata his blessing. Iwata became the first Nintendo president who was unrelated to the Yamauchi family through blood or marriage since its founding in 1889.
Nintendo had its fair share of successes in the video game industry, like the family computer, Game Boy, SNES, Wii, and DS. But it also had commercial failures, like the Wii U and the Virtual Boy. In the Philippines, Nintendo became a household name when the family computer's availability became widespread. Now, this was actually a good time for Nintendo to come in because the video game ban in the Philippines was just lifted after the People Power Revolution. Now, if you want to know about the video game ban in the Philippines, just watch my previous video. I'll place the link down in the description below. The family computer was the first Nintendo console I got to own. While I do not have the console already, I still have my game cartridges from the 90s. So let's take a closer look at some of these titles. Okay, so we have Duck Hunt over here. We have Pac-Man. Well, this is a Popeye game and it costs around 85 pesos from where is this? Oh, from SM Toyland. Oh, this is a 5-in-1 game. It has Aladdin, Dragon Ball Z, Mortal Kombat, and it costs around 600 pesos. But this is one game that I really like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is a Super Mario game. Also, this is another pricey game. This is a Power Rangers game and it's 4-in-1 and it costs around 659 pesos. We have Ice Climbers. And look at this, there's Tekken 2. Now in the late 90s, my sister was given a pink Game Boy Pocket. While it's not technically mine, I was able to play a lot of Pokemon Yellow with it. In the 2000s, I was without any Nintendo console. I didn't have an SNES or a Nintendo 64 prior to that, and I didn't get to own a Game Boy Advance or a GameCube. I was just a student who had a small allowance who wanted to play games. So I did a lot of emulators. I bought CDs such as this. So this is a Pokemon 5-in-1 which has Pokemon Gold, Silver, Red, and the trading card game. I also downloaded emulators such as the SNES 9X, No Cash GMB, No Cash GBA, and Visual Boy Advance for PC, as well as Vampen's VBag, VBoy, and VNES for Symbian OS of Nokia phones. I think it was only a decade after when I got an actual Nintendo DS, and this was a pink light model which I bought secondhand with an R4. I had already started working at the time and finally, I was able to afford my own consoles. Around Christmas 2011, I got a second-hand Aqua Blue Nintendo 3DS, which was amazing because I was able to buy a console within the first year of its launch. Now I have probably held and tinkered with over 100 Nintendo 3DS during its lifespan because I had a side job which involved installing custom firmware as well as buy and sell of these handhelds. Currently, I still have this black Japanese new Nintendo 3DS which I converted to the English language through custom firmware, as well as this gold Hyrule edition new Nintendo 3DS XL. Since I wanted to have the handles I didn't get to own during my childhood, I got myself a Game Boy Color, a Game Boy Advance SP, a Game Boy Micro, and I replaced the old Nintendo DS which I sold. The Wii I got at the end of its lifespan, maybe around 2013, when I experienced it for the first time at an office colleague's house. Around mid-2016, I got myself a Wii U, and it's still here. Production of the Wii U ended just 6 months after I bought my unit. November 2018 was when I finally bought my latest Nintendo console, the Switch. It's quickly gaining popularity. It's possible that I might get a secondary Switch just for Pokemon because it makes trading much easier. And that would be my legit console for online play because this has custom firmware installed so I can play online. And with that, I think we're done. If you found this video interesting or entertaining, please like and subscribe to my channel, then hit on that notification bell for more content. Again, I'm Zach, and this is GG Fist Bump.